Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, whether you are on Facebook Live or if you are watching after on our podcast or YouTube. I'm here today with Chef Beejhy Barhany. And for those of you who don't know, she is an entrepreneur and activist who was born in Ethiopia, raised in Israel, and currently resides in New York. At a very young age, she emigrated to Israel and she acclimated to Israeli life, living in a kibbutz and joining the army. And soon after, she traveled across South America for a year and again emigrated, this time to the US. She's the founder of B.I.N.A Cultural Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to celebrating and advocating for Ethiopian Jews in North America. Today, she is the chef and owner of an eclectic Ethiopian restaurant, Tsion Café, that incorporates cuisine from the many places that have been influential on her journeys. And she is currently working on a cookbook. So, Chef, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad you could be here. So I just wanted to start off by asking, what initially inspired you to be vegan, and did your Jewish values inform this decision? And if so, in what way?
Yeah, I mean, as we pivoted this year to become a kosher and vegan restaurant. I guess because of different reasons. Uh, um, with the current situation of being Jew at this time, I felt like it's the time to do or shine, illuminate light, illuminate your Jewishness in any way. So I felt that would be the right thing to do. By going vegan is something, I would say it's not fun to me. Going vegan, because there's a lot of dishes within the Ethiopian Jewish cuisine that are very much vegan friendly, and I would say in Ethiopian Jewish tradition, in a way, is very much so. You don't eat a lot of meat throughout the week anyway, right? You eat a lot of lentils and cabbage, collard green, potatoes, pumpkin, and so forth. And you will dedicate this delicious meat, fish, chicken, especially for the Shabbat. So you anticipate for that. And within Ethiopian Jewish tradition as well, we eat seasonal. You eat whatever you grow, and what in your background. You don't eat everything in the same produce or product in the same time, like here in the US. So I wanted to get into that way of living, cook seasonal food, eat more from the earth, which is sustainable, is good for the environment. And this is entwined within Jewish traditions as well, very much so. So how can I be a contributing citizen in order to do good for mankind in a way by nourishing them, feeding them delicious, healthy food, and then contributing to the environment in a way. It's very little amount, but that's what I can do for my ability to do so. So that's the pivot. Yep.
Amazing. What inspired your passion for cooking?
Well, cooking, I think cooking and hosting and eating is something that I grew up in. It's a not new environment to me. Food is a very central item that bring people together. If you know how to cook, if you can feed them, you're good. Even your enemies, if you feed them good food, you can break a lot of barriers. So I grew up in that household tradition that people come, make sure that we feed them. It's considered as an honor and privilege to be able to feed people that come to visit you, and they don't need to call you ahead of time. I'm stopping by, have food ready. You give them whatever you have. That's the culture I grew up in, and it's an ancient Jewish tradition and its own. Abraham, for example, had his tent open in four corners. Any guest that come, is welcome in any direction, and you feed them or you give them water, whatever they need, you nourish them, and they continue on that journey. So that's my upbringing, and I wanted to showcase that here at Tsion Café. Tsion, as you know, is the meaning of Tsion, Yerushalayim, is the ultimate place where we can nourish people, body and soul, in different forms. So that's why, and that's how I got into cooking at a young age.
Amazing. So leading into that is that what inspired you to start Tsion Café?
That's correct. I have done many cultural showcases by forming B.I.N.A, Beta Israel of North America, educating about Jewish diversity and inclusion and so forth. But a component that I've been missing, I would say, is the food aspect. Not many people know of Ethiopian Jewish food, or the delicious, varied and rich Ethiopian food. And I wanted to celebrate that and showcase it, and invite people to try something unique.
Definitely, yeah. How do you kind of go about infusing the different cultural influences of Ethiopia, Israel, and New York into your menu?
Well, as you see, we have different items, ingredients that we utilize, and so forth. I would say before we became vegan, very unique and different item that it was kind of special to Tsion Cafe was our Tsion eggs. It will have a Nova smoked salmon cooked with eggs, and we serve it on a injera bread. So the Jewish of the smoked salmon, the injera bread, all of that, putting it together. But right now, in terms of celebrating and infusing the different cultural and heritages, I would say, or adding to my delicious pumpkin and sweet potato stew, adding like a Ceylon syrup, which is date syrup or stuff like that, or incorporating different ways of cooking with the Israeli way of cooking, or the Ethiopian flavors and stuff like that. So we try to create something unique to me, to my upbringing, incorporating different flavors that celebrate my identity.
That's beautiful. I just started putting date syrup in my coffee in place of like sugar. It's delicious. And yeah, so I love that. And I'm looking forward to seeing your cookbook when that eventually comes out because I would love to try these recipes. They sound amazing, like healthy and delicious. So, can you share a standout dish from your restaurant that represents the fusion of these? I know you mentioned the one that was had sort of represented the smoked salmon and eggs, but anything besides that?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the pumpkin stew, for example, the way we cook it, we incorporate food, which is fava beans, with the different Ethiopian spices. Food is very common in Israel, for example, but yet we put in it the Ethiopian spices and infuse olive oil and stuff like that, that give it this unique taste and flavor that is unique to the Ethiopian cuisine.
Very nice. Um, in what ways does your cafe serve as a hub for cultural exchange and community engagement?
Well, I mean, since our establishment 2014, we've been hosting, beside providing healthy and nutritious food, we've been hosting a lot of cultural showcases. That goes from, the art that you see behind me is a local artist, to live music and film screening and so forth. So we incorporate all type of form of art together with the art of cooking as well. So we're all about bringing unique experience to our customers and beyond.
Nice. Can you describe a specific moment or memory that highlights how food can bring people together across cultural boundaries?
Sure. For example, for Black History Month, which is we are in it right now. What we have done in the past is we utilize Tsion as a platform for bridging and opening a dialogue and understanding between the Jewish, the Black community, for example, the African American community and beyond. How do we, as a Ethiopian Black Jewish establishment, how do you bridge between the white Jewish or Jewish as a whole and the African American community, and two minority groups that have been going through persecution and so forth, to come to a central place where can we have understanding and dialogue. So we have been doing so, and I think we have another event like that coming up on February 17. So this is the platform we created, and that is an easy way, I would say, to come and talk and discuss those kind of topics, right? Racism, anti-Semitism, all of that stuff over a delicious food. You can break bread literally with everybody and have a better understanding in a way. And it's easier to digest.
Yes, definitely. That's a great way to start those conversations. I love that. Do you have any, do you want to talk more about that event you have coming up in February?
Yeah, as I said, it's going to be live music discussion. If people are available, you should come through on February 17. But prior to that, we have on February 13, we officially kind of launching a soft opening for the vegan and kosher Tsion Café. So we'll have live music, traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Just come, meet new people, try something new, and celebrate Jewish diversity in a very unique way. February 13 at 6 p.m., come and celebrate with us, the Tsion Vegan and Kosher Restaurant.
Nice. I wish I could come. So anyone else who's in New York, you better go and tell me how it went. So does that mean you got your kosher certification?
We actually been certified since the end of December, but it takes a while to build a menu, try it, and so we just kind of getting together, briefly celebrating. But by the end of the year, we became a certified kosher restaurant. Yeah.
Mazel tov. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ethiopian Shabbat and what are some foods you traditionally enjoy for that occasion?
I mean, Shabbat is a unique day, a special holy day for Jews or Ethiopian Jews as a whole. I would say we adhere strictly to the Shabbat, which means, we don't do any labor, you don't turn on the light, you don't turn on TV. That's how we celebrated Shabbat. And, in a way, I would say the unique way of celebrating within Ethiopian Jews is having our unique bread called dabo, for example, right? Equivalent to challah, or making a delicious spicy chicken stew or lamb or whatever you have. But the aspect of coming together and resting and having this unique day as a joyful day for reconnecting with your family and giving thanks, for a day that we can reconnect in any way and rest and appreciate what we have. So that's the Shabbat that I know, that I grew up on. And yeah, that's Ethiopian Shabbat.
Sounds very similar to the Shabbat that I've experienced. So, what was the bread you mentioned? That was sort
The
of
bread
like,
is called dabo. It's a round bread, which is, that's how the ancient Hebrew made it. Is supposed to be round. No, I would say you shouldn't put sugar or anything like it. It's supposed to be water, salt, and the flour in order to make hamotzi on it. Yeah, it's very unique, delicious. You can put different spices like a little bit of nigella seeds or cardamom to make it unique. But that's our bread, dabo bread.
very nice. No eggs in there.
No, it shouldn't be.
You guys go vegan water sort of challah. Okay, now talking a little bit more about your nonprofit, what inspired you to found B.I.N.A, and tell us about what it is and what you do.
Okay, B.I.N.A is Beta Israel of North America Cultural Foundation. Beta is the name for Ethiopian Jew, another name. That's another way of referring to the Ethiopian Jewish community. I formed it in early 2002 or 3. The intention was really to bring an awareness on the existence of Ethiopian Jews here in the US and beyond. Because, I guess there was no much understanding of the existence or the need um, of Ethiopian Jews here in New York. And everywhere you go, synagogue, you always have to explain yourself why you're here, that you're Jewish, and say, guys, there is more Jews and different colors. One of them is Ethiopian Jew, but of course, there is Indian Jews, there is Nigerian Jews, Jews from Ghana, Jews from Libya, Tunisia. We are diverse, varied in different colors, but the whole sentiment of Jews being in one look, which is not inclusive, we kind of wanted to bring an awareness and say we are here too. So that's why I formed B.I.N.A. It's a cultural showcase, just doing a lot of engagement of events, if it's panel discussion, Shabbat dinners, and film screening and stuff like that, to bring to the mosaic of Jewish diversity as a whole. And I think, back then, about almost 20 years ago, it was completely different. Now the inclusion and diversity of Jewish diaspora, Jew as a whole, or Jews of color, I would say is better now. Not many people are surprised. Oh, you're Jewish. And they just, not the way it used to be back then. I think, it's a great progress. And that's why, yeah.
That's beautiful. Great. Sort of looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for B.I.N.A?
I mean, it's just to be more, open to accepting others and be engaged, and whomever, step in the synagogue or any Jewish community center, be more inviting. That's what I will encourage for people to do as a whole, and don't question people of their Jewishness, because I don't think anybody is an authority of being Jew. Don't forget that we are varied in different colors, complexion, and ethnic groups, and so forth. So that's what I will ask. That's my aspiration, for a more welcoming, inclusive Jewish community in the US and beyond.
Yes, that's so important. I hear all the time, even just recently, a friend told me that she got into a discussion with someone questioning her Judaism as a Mexican Jew, and that was really hard for her. So that's important work to be doing.
Yes.
Do you have anything exciting coming up? Well, you shared the 2 events going on at Tsion Café, but anything else, maybe with B.I.N.A or your
The
cookbook?
other exciting thing that coming up, I would say, is the cookbook that coming up, I guess, beginning of 2025, I hope. Things always get pushed down, but that's my anticipation, to have a voice or representation in the Jewish world, delicious Ethiopian cuisine. And I think that would be more interesting to try. What I would encourage people to do is, any Jewish holiday, if it's Pesach or Rosh Hashanah, kind of be more inclusive by adding a new dish, or learning a new recipe or new story. Let's celebrate Jewish diversity in many ways. That's my yeah. I would like and hope will that people will engage in that. That would be a beautiful celebration.
I love that. That's a really great idea and great advice. Well, before we head out, do you want to let everyone know where they can find information about B.I.N.A and your cafe and everything else you have going on?
Sure. Come visit us at Tsion Café. Tsion Cafe. We are located in New York City. You just Google us. Check in our event website if we have any upcoming events like live music and different activities. And eventually, as time goes, we're hoping to have like Shabbat dinners and stuff like that, or even Sikh celebration, which is a unique holiday to Ethiopian Jews that usually falls around November or so. So yeah, follow us, come like us, support us, come try some of our delicious food. We want to celebrate Jewish diversity in a very unique way. So be part of it.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great talking and getting to know you and your work you have going on. And wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much for having me. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.